It feels like the floodgates are going to open this year, doesn't it? I mean, so within the past week, a couple weeks, so SOB 121 being called back or rolled back. And I mean, within it felt like minutes, you hear from CEOs like Bank of America saying we're all in. And these are institutions that I mean, Bank of America was one of our early partners when we were doing kind of like the messaging software only payment solution. So we've worked with these types of banks for a long time, and the lack of clarity, and I mean, I think in the more recent time, even hostility toward, hey, like, using these assets and this technology is not okay. It's dangerous, which is not the best way to handle it, as we would say. But looking forward, I would say, yes, it seems like there's going to be a sea change this year. And even I could say post November, the US election result, even just the ongoing conversations we've had with banks around being reserve bank or transaction banking partners for the stablecoin or for our payments business, like the tone and message changed overnight. Like it was quick.
What's up, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Picture this. You're staring at your crypto portfolio, heart is racing, wondering when the next big move will hit. The crypto world spins fast, secrets unravel, prices swing, and mysteries deepen every single day. Today, we've got a puzzle that's got everyone talking. Why is the Ripple SEC case still dragging on when so many others have already been wrapping up? And another strange twist, no Ripple USD or RLUSD minted this month. How's that shaking up for XRP? You're about to step into the shadows of today's hottest crypto news, and every headline pulls you deeper into the unknown. Stick with me, because in just a few minutes, I'll peel back the curtain on those stories, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. The clock's ticking and the markets are moving. Are you ready to know what's really going on? And here's the deal. If you hang on until the end, I've got something special for you. A sneak peek into our Altcoin Pro community, where everyday folks like you and me are crushing it in crypto. Let's dive in before the next headline already steals the spotlight. So if you're like most people, you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news like we do here on this channel, and we bring that to you in a condensed manner, make sure you subscribe today. And if you're feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by smashing 777 in the comment section. Let's roll. Plus, we'll be jumping over to X to find out all the breaking news that's happening in the crypto world today. We'll also be checking in on XRP in the charts. Our support and resistance lines from the spider lines are still holding strong. We'll get you updated on what to see next. We'll deep dive into why the Ripple SEC case is still ongoing, and the fact that zero Ripple USD RLUSD was minted in March. But first, let's check out the overall health of the crypto market. Right now, we are currently coming in at a market cap of 2.88 trillion. There was a decent amount of volume in the markets today, so buys and sells going hard at $168 billion. Altcoin season index still coming in at extreme lows at 16. The lowest point that it's come in thus far this year is on March 1st, when it was all the way down to 14. Altcoin market cap at that point was at a 1.13 trillion. Fear and greed index still in the 20s. Tried to break above the 40 level on March 2nd, couldn't quite have it, and boom, down to the downside again. Last week, an average of 29. Yesterday, up to 39. Last month, neutral 45. So we would love to see this thing climb all the way back up in extreme greed. Where are all the greedy crypto people? Crypto ETFs have another sell-off day. Unfortunately, it has been absolutely bloodbath for ETFs for the start of this year. The largest loss of 2025 came on the week of February 23rd, when it lost over $2.7 billion worth of ETF flows. Top 5 coins trending according to CoinMarketCap right now: Ethereum number 1 at 2,100, Sui number 2 at $2.52, Bitcoin number 3 at 87,000, GPS coming in at 6 cents at number 4, and HBAR up 8% today with a 24-cent price tag. Top 5 cryptos by total market cap. Bitcoin, of course, still holding on to number 1 at $1.7 trillion. Ethereum still under that 300 billion mark at 261. XRP coming in at 142 billion, sitting at number 3, just above Tether at 142 billion. We got Binance at 83 billion, coming in at number 5. and Solana at 73 billion. And breaking news over on X, liquidation carnage continues. This has been a painful end of February and beginning of March. So on the 23rd of February, 900 million wiped out, 24th, 1.2 billion, 25th, 800 million, 27th, 900 million, March 2nd, 800 million, and in the last 24 hours, $1.1 billion liquidation. That's over $5.7 billion gone in just 10 days. Are we near max pain or is more blood coming? Let us know in the comments section, and make sure you follow Altcoin Pro. If you're not even a member yet, definitely head over to bullrunners.com, join our Altcoin Pro University. It is absolutely fantastic. We'll get into more details of that at the end of the video. We just launched our X page. Make sure you go follow us, Altcoin Pro _. Also, Justin, Brad Garlinghouse will be at the White House for the Crypto Summit, which is bullish. So here's the White House Crypto Summit. Donald Trump's got his checkmark confirmed. Bo Hines checkmark confirmed. David Sachs cryptos are confirmed. And then the fourth person confirmed right now is Brad Garlinghouse with XRP. And as you saw in the intro of the video, Monica Long, Ripple's president, it feels like the floodgates are going to open XRP. And hey, I found this one interesting, just throwing it out there, but I was going through this. I know a lot of us are looking to make some extra money, get some dry powder on the side so we can buy these dips. This post here, I had my TV mounted for 225 guy. The guy finished in about 25 minutes. He claimed to do 6 or 8 a day, 6 days a week, $492,000 a year. So if you can niche down, become an expert in mounting TVs. Now, this one must have been a difficult mount. This is in rock on a chimney. So we'll see how that goes out, putting them up on bricks. But if you know what you're doing, it's definitely worth doing. It's XRP and Ripple game time. Given the 6 variables listed below, let your hair down, grab your favorite beverage, and put your thinking cap on and speculate like a giddy teenager when you think before the end of 2025, these 2 prices will be the XRP token price, the Ripple stock price. So let's have some fun, XRP family. Hypothetically speaking, of course, what is your best price estimates given that these 6 factors below? Number 1, XRP will be added to the crypto reserve. Number 2, Ripple needs to drop its XRP escrow holdings below 20 billion to comply with pending FIT21 legislation. Number 3, the most likely buyer of 30 billion XRP will be the United States government. Number 4, the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit ends. 5, Ripple completes a successful IPO. And 6, the average number of XRP in global circulation for daily use will be approximately 10 billion tokens. So when you think about that, is XRP $10,000 really a possibility? As an optimistic person, we can definitely believe that it could be a possibility. But the question that's on everyone's mind, why the heck is this Ripple case not done? We see case after case after case. We even had Kraken's case dismissed today. Case after case dismissed by the SEC, but not Ripple's case.
We just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.
So let's dive into the origins of the case. First and foremost, back in 2010s, when crypto law was still young, the SEC was just dipping its toes into enforcement. It started with the Dow report, a seminal document initially applying the now famous how we test a cryptocurrency. Then in December of 2020, the Ripple complaint came as a shot across the bow of the crypto establishment. The allegation was that Ripple's sale of the token XRP was a years-long unregistered offering of securities would form the playbook for all subsequent SEC enforcement. And we can see here the reaction from Brad Garlinghouse that day. Today, the SEC voted to attack crypto. Chairman Jay Clayton, in his final act, is picking winners and trying to limit U.S. innovation in the crypto industry to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this was posted at 2:27 a.m. So he was up early or stayed up late night, pissed off. December 22nd, 2020. It's a lot of twos in there. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 0, 2, 2. Ultimately, the seminal cryptocurrency enforcement action was eclipsed in the public eye by higher profile disputes with Coinbase, Uniswap, and others. And one of the last acts of the outgoing Biden administration against their SEC appealed the Torres judgment on January 15th, Ripple is filed a notice of cross appeal on October 15, 2024, and has not yet filed an appeal. Ripple aligns with the White House now. As of writing time, the Ripple case has been silent since January 31st, 2025. The SEC has methodically dismissed virtually every cryptocurrency action and investigation on its docket, yet Ripple has remained mysteriously stuck. This is strange on several levels. For one, the arguments for appeal on Ripple are similar to those at issue in a parallel Coinbase interlocutory appeal that Southern District of New York Catherine Polk-Valia certified back in January. The SEC let that one go on February 27th. Secondly, Ripple seems to be in the White House's good graces. Ripple has publicly courted Trump's favor in recent months. This included a meeting between Ripple Brad Garlinghouse and Trump at Mar-a-Lago before his inauguration, and reported contribution of $5 million in XRP to Trump's inauguration fund. And of course, the shot heard around the world. We got Brad Garlinghouse, Mr. Trump, President Trump, and Stuart Alderati there. Great dinner last night with real Donald Trump and Stuart Alderati. While it's impossible to know for sure, it seems that the gestures have inspired warm feelings among MAGA in the inner circle. In February, Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., followed Ripple on X. More recently, on March 2nd, Trump named XRP as one of the 5 cryptocurrencies to be included in the strategic reserve. And if you remember, XRP was the very first coin mentioned. XRP, Solana, ADA, later on followed up by a tweet representing Ethereum and Bitcoin. But there are 3 reasons why Ripple case may be ongoing. The truth is, on the Ripple case, 3 reasons why Ripple case may be ongoing. The truth is still unknown. No SEC staff member or Ripple attorney has commented. However, there are a number of possible explanations considering. Unlike Coinbase, which is still pending pre-dismissal, Ripple reached a final judgment, and this means that the SEC stopped fighting. The outcome would not be Ripple victory, but a $125 million fine and a 5-year bad actor prohibition on security fundraising that Judge Torres imposed on Ripple. So that means, in some sense, Ripple needs the case to continue to obtain a favorable ruling. While it is possible that it could convene the SEC to join it in seeking to vacate Torres' judgment, it is not obvious that Torres would agree to do so. Ripple may be playing hardball, but would Trump allow the SEC to push back? Another riskier tactic would be for the parties to fortuitously agree to continue the matter on appeal, but with the SEC as a party in name only. The SEC could play dead at hearings, effectively improving Ripple's odds of obtaining a favorable judgment on appeal at the Second Circuit. A similar tactic was famously used, though openly not furtively, by the Justice Department during Barack Obama's term to facilitate appellate review on the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA, in United States versus Windsor. And the final explanation could be that it could make sense is that there are still voices at the SEC who care about their interpretation of the law and want to defend it. At the time of the Torres ruling, many practitioners believed it incorrectly applied to securities law. Cryptocurrency attorneys have come to embrace its logic, but it is clear that the SEC always saw it as black spot on its litigation record and fought hard to appeal it immediately. Ultimately, the case is a vestige of an early era. While case law was once seen as a detriment of cryptocurrency tokens' legal status, this may no longer be the case. The old rules were thrown out when Trump ascended to power again, and the new rules are yet to be written. Ripple case will be dropped in the coming days as the SEC either works through this docket or sides reach some agreement. Even if it continues to resolution, though, it is unlikely to impact enforcement over the next 4 years. And in an interesting turn of events, Ripple USD has minted 0 for March. Ripple's stablecoin tracker data shows the payment platform last minted $2.5 million on February 28th from its treasury. It is unclear after the 96-hour pause will drag on longer. However, industry experts argue that its deliberate move to balance demand and supply, Ripple may have halted minting to prevent flooding the market and affecting the token stability. Market watchers believe Ripple is doing this to stay competitive with leaders in the stablecoin space. USDT and USDC have continued to dominate the sector despite Ripple's efforts to gain sizable slice. XRP price fluctuates amid RLUSD minting pause. Interesting, the last time Ripple minted RLUSD, the XRP price was trading at $2.14 on the crypto market. XRP experienced some price fluctuations after that, rising to a high of $2.93, following its inclusion in the list of U.S. strategic crypto reserve. So interesting to keep tracking RLUSD trying to break into the major stablecoin business, doing it smartly. No need to rush and flood the market. It will continue to monitor its own supply and demand and grow from there. All right, so jumping over to the XRP charts, we are going to take a look here. Now, as we talked about on March 2nd, when we were going through this push to the upside, the candle was about to close for the daily. And I mentioned that I do not ever like a huge push to the upside because oftentimes that indicates a need to fill in the fair value gap. And let's go ahead and add fair value gap indicator here. And let's go ahead and rewind. We'll do a replay to here. And then we'll go ahead and push play so you have an understanding. So as you can see, we had all these fair value gaps here that needed to be filled to the upside. Boom, the 1 day filled it to the upside. All right, we'll hit play for one, pause. Okay, so that had a huge push to the upside, leaving this whole entire area as a fair value gap that needed to be filled. And boom, there was still a little bit of fair value gap to the downside here, as you can see. And it also coincides with our spider line, which we'll cover that. If you're new here, we'll cover that here in just a minute. But boom, the next day, which is yesterday's candle, spiked down, closed out that full fair value gap, and now we're moving back to the upside. So let's go ahead and turn it off because the fair value gaps, the indicator is very noisy on the charts, of course. Now, the other thing that we're looking at here, we have our long-term momentum indicator, unfortunately, still below the zero line here. So we're still looking for that to break to the upside on the daily chart to show us actual momentum up on that higher time frame. On the 12-hour time frame, we can see we are getting super close to breaking through there. So that's positive. And then when we look at the 4-hour time frame, we broke through nice during all of this surge, came back down, and now we are moving back to the upside. So we'll see. If this stays above the zero line, we maintain bullish. Short-term momentum is currently showing us that we have zeroed out, and there's definitely time to move to the upside now. As we can see, last time it was zeroed out was here, and that whole move to the upside was very, very nice for us. So this is potentially about to happen for us on the 4-hour. When we look at the 12-hour, it is already up to the 100 level. So that could ride there for a few days. Ultimately, we would know if that's a possibility if we break through our next resistance level, which is here at 250. Otherwise, we could see another sell-off to the downside like we saw previously here. And unfortunately, that went from 280 all the way back down to $1.90. Now, looking at the daily one, the daily shaft trend cycle, it zeroed out and it has been moving to the upside, currently sitting at 72. So there's good move left in this to move to the upside. The positive news is last time we were zeroed out and we moved to the upside, we had this nice move here, but it was nice and steady. The problem is our long-term momentum indicator was bull or bearish, right? So we have red, it's under the zero line. So unfortunately, it didn't have that actual oomph behind it to push it to the upside, because last time we were zeroed out and we started to make our move to the upside and we crossed the zero line on the daily, that's when we had the massive push to the upside. So we need the daily to break back above the zero line here on our Wolfpack indicator, indicating we're strong bullish momentum on the daily. Otherwise, we're just going to be stuck here in Chop City. So let's take a look at where Chop City gets us on our current stage. So first and foremost, support to the downside is now $2.23. If we lose $2.23, it's very likely we could come back to the $1.90 level. $1.90 to the downside. However, our next level to the upside is currently $2.50. If we break $2.50, we can make our way up to $2.80, which is where we saw resistance last time here, and then also a retest here before breaking down. Now, when we look at our fair value gaps here on our daily charts, we do not have any fair value gaps to fill to the upside. Everything has been taken. In fact, that's exactly where we peaked out last time. There was a little fair value gap right here at the $2.90, $3 level. Boom, wicked out, cleared it. So really, if you want to be bearish, there's a lot of bearish potential to the downside. And that bearish gets us into the $1.50, $1.55 range. In fact, when we go and we change to our Heikinashi candles and we go supply and demand hunting, so that would be any interruption in the upswing is a red candle. So that puts us right here. This right here is going to be an extreme support to the downside. We'll turn that one red for support, $1.45, $1.28. Then when we switch back to traditional candles, we can see that's even lower than the fair value gap we were talking about. And even below that is another one here, even $1.15, which also gets us into another order block or supply zone. That's if bearish catalysts continue, right? So for example, if the trade war continues to heat up, the tariffs start to really hurt our economy, and crypto really starts to sell off, we could see these drops back to the $1.50 range, $1.45. In fact, what's actually another scenario, we could extend this up to here since that was the most highest point of a red candle on the drops here, and that would get us to $1.63. So there's a huge zone right here that could potentially, if we lose that momentum on the weekly chart, which we've been showing you as well. So this right here, which is completely overbought on the long-term momentum wave Wolfpack, if this were to have to come back and recorrect, then we could see these levels. However, if our long-term stays bullish and our short-term momentum, which has finally zeroed out here, let's see if it's zero. Yeah, so that is very positive. So this is getting extremely close to the zero level, and we could very much see a turn back to the upside. And the reason why I say that's very positive, because on the weekly time frame, when our weekly long-term momentum was green and our weekly short-term momentum turned green, that's when we ran up from the 55-cent level all the way up to the all-time high, $3.40. Obviously, that had to reset, and there was some severe pain in this reset, but there wasn't a massive pullback per se. It didn't come back and clear. There's some fair value gaps down here on this weekly chart that could be filled as well. I mean, we're talking 61 cents. We don't want to talk that way, but there's realistic scenarios where price comes back to that to have to fill this gap. However, right now we're still bullish. Long-term weekly, short-term weekly resets. It's about to move to the upside. Last time it moved to the upside, it went from 55 cents to new all-time high, $3.40. Now that it has reset, what we're waiting for, there's 5 days and 0 hours left in this new reset and the weekly candles. This weekly candle is going to be important, but next week, weekly candle is the most important, because that way we can see if this is just going to ride and do nothing, or if it turns back up and we have the moonshot to the upside like we had back here. So that's based off of the indicators for momentum, long-term, short-term momentum. Now, when we look at the charts though, and we take a look at the actual support and resistance that we have coming up, like I said, support is at 223. Resistance, we're at it right now, 250, needs to break, brings us back to 280. Then the 291, $3. Then the real one we need to break, it's 327 with a nice close candle and a confirmation candle after it. Then we can push up to 366. And then, like I was telling you, how this works is if you use your tools on your charts, there's a tool called the ray. And if you grab a ray and you go to a weekly candle on the downside, you can do this anywhere really. In fact, here, let's go ahead. Let's pick this candle right here out of the blue. Monday, June 17th, 2019. We're going to use that as our start point, and our pivot point, you can always use. Our pivot point becomes the high of April 2021. If you remember that, April 12th, that $1.96 high. And you want to make sure you're doing this on Logarithmic. Just pick any one of the candles, okay? Put it off that pivot point, and that'll give you something into the future as a future resistance. Now, what's really cool about this, guys, is when you look at this new one that we just drew, which we went out of the blue, picked it, but this is going to happen. This is the June 17th, 2019 candle. Based off that, the pivot point, where it goes, look at the price target for this. Now, will this happen this year? Will it happen 5 years, 10 years from now? Who knows? But if we went straight up, basically from where we're at now, that's a $36 target on Logarithmic. If we go to standard candles and we look at the price, if it breaks through here, looking at $5.22. Seriously realistic numbers. Some of you may be saying, oh, that's hogwash. There's no way that could be real. Well, let's take a look at historic what happened. On our move to the upside on the daily charts, it came to our 107 spider line, which is actually the very first week after the top of 2017, the first week drop top. And then you hit that on the pivot point. You give us that support and resistance line. It broke up, became a support. Then it made another move. Right now, we don't have an actual support and resistance spider line in here, which is totally fine, but it made a move up to the next one. Broke this level, retested, went up to the next one, broke that level, retested, continued moving up, got up to this level here at $2.84, rejected. The next day, rejected, came down, support off this 222. Used that one for quite a lot of supports, as you can see. It was even support before our ultimate move to the new all-time high. And that was support as of yesterday. Now we have a major resistance, which this is all of these resistance as well. So once we clear this level and we hold this as a support, we're looking really strong. In fact, what we really need to do is clear this $3, claim $3 as a support, and I think we could really extend from there to the upside. It's going to be very exciting times ahead. That's my bullish case. Bearish case is getting back to $1.62, 63, and very dangerous case back to 60 cents if it needs to fill these fair value gaps. Let me know your opinions in the comments section.
Hey, bull runners, if you want more money to invest in the crypto market, did you know that there's billions of dollars in federal cash for businesses that kept paying their W-2 employees despite dealing with the government shutdowns in 2020 to 2021 during the pandemic that caused massive supply chain issues? So if you have or you know any businesses that have W-2 employees, you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee with no maximum limit through the Federal Employee Retention Credit Program when you click the link in the description of this video. Now, this isn't a loan, it's an IRS cash refund, and businesses have been getting back hundreds of thousands of dollars through this over the last few years. So to see if you qualify, all you need to do is click the link in the description below this video right now to schedule a free consultation with a dedicated ERC expert. But you have to act fast because the deadline to apply and share with as many businesses as possible is April 15th this year. And you can also sign up as an affiliate below, share with businesses that have W-2 employees, and earn 2% on their refunds. All they do is they simply click your link, they schedule a consultation before April 15th, and they will see how much they qualify to get back. So this is a great way to get money back in your pocket to invest in the crypto market before the next major breakout. And most businesses have missed out on this credit because the ERC qualifications have changed 3 times over the years. So if you were told in the past that you didn't qualify for this, there's actually a chance now that you do qualify. So click the link below, schedule a free consultation today, and let's help you get some money back in your pocket this bull run. And if you know any businesses that have W-2 employees, sign up as an affiliate right now through the link below. Share your link with as many businesses as possible before April 15th, and let's get you paid.